And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Houston Texans. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! At their own 17-yard line. Mike, 45. And we're pretty quiet, G. We're pretty quiet.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. He's got a first down past the 30. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 25-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kiki QT, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Jameis to throw it. Evans, fast footwork. And this is caught by Evans. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown. You know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. you think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Tighten down. There you go.
Winston now. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
He went all the way into the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
19. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Watson. With a catch made by Hopkins. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Watson now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the Bucs' 36-yard line.
Watch the run. Right there.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Check three.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At the 24-yard line.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Vita Vea able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense. Just flooded the field with defensive backs. Blanketed everyone. Took away all the passing angles. Thus, the incompletion.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, Barber. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Barber on 1st and 10. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Texans' 40-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play action now. Winston under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack there by J.J. Watt. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, it's Logan. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 30. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly. Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing, Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long for Winston. And Winston lost the football.
I'm plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your...
This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it all the way down to the 15. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 46 yards. A first down carry now for Miller. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Set. 19. Coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last step, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Winston, rush coming, and he's taken down. J.J. Watt, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got Evans. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A 3rd down gain of 19. They'll run on 1st down. Logan. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. DJ Reader there on the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw, Winston. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Winston. That's caught by Howard. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
That's another Buccaneers first down.
Winston now to throw on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
He finds his target. It's Evans. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Check 50, check 50.
Winston. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Watson flushed out right. Going deep for Hopkins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the 25 on second down, Winston under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Winston from the gun on third down. to his receiver, Godwin. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. A first down throw for Winston. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So a first and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Again, it's Winston. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. But now it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Right there. 54, right there.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now on second and 16, Winston. And Winston lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Benardrick McKinney able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10. Watson now, throwing again. This is Miller, complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Watson. He's got Fuller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Winston and Brake, the tight end's got it. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there. They're indeed going. It's Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Here's Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-side. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Whitney merciless in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On 3rd down, here comes Barber. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 12-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing, Winston. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a first down following a gain of 3. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Winston gives to Barber, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Come on, let's go.
One last shot now for Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.